Namaste friends, my name is Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar. I am convener United Consciousness. United Consciousness is a global organization promoted by Project Self Incorporation USA and Bharat. Dear friends, some time back, one news shook the world. In the war zone of Syria, a 3-year-old child, badly wounded, was admitted to the hospital. Doctors could not save him, but before his death, that child looked at the doctor and said, "I am going to tell everything to the God." And the world really stood still. Every new child is a message of divine to us that the Creator is still not upset with us. But the mindset of division leads to struggles and leads to wars. The time has come that we should see oneness beyond these divisions, because we are already one in our worries for our kids. We are one and similar in our concerns for our family. We are one in our pursuit of happiness. We are one in our quest of peace. We are one in our struggle of avoiding pain. We are one in our concern for future. We are one in our consciousness. So dear friends, united consciousness is not the way. It is the only way to save humanity today. It is a way for a new world order. It is a way where united consciousness envisage a new world where education will bring forth the best in everybody. It will liberate people, where the focus of education will be life, not only livelihood. Where in schools, kids will be taught that happiness and peace is the dashboard of life. Where the language of superlatives and comparatives will not be used often. Where economics will talk more about gross domestic happiness rather than gross domestic product. Where war will be taught only in the books of history. Where stress and tension will remain only in the books of physics, not in humanity. Where depression will go back to find its place in the books of economics, not in human psychology. Where nations will be the units of economic development, social and ethnic upliftment, but not the boundaries of human freedom and human expression. Where we share this planet with other species, where we, instead of talking only on democracy, we will be talking on ecocracy, where we will incorporate all the plants, nature, animals, and give them their righteous place, their appropriate place in this planet, where even they are applauded and respected as a being on this planet. So dear friends, the time has come to choose, and there are two choices. One choice is united consciousness, and another is divisive catastrophe. Because we make choices, and finally choices make us. So let's choose wisely. Let's choose love. Let's choose togetherness. Let's choose united consciousness. In order to choose united consciousness and celebrate it, we are organizing on 11th, 12th, 18th and 19th of December a global spiritual fiesta, United Consciousness Conclave 2021. So let's together explore united consciousness with amazing speeches and panel discussion. Experience united consciousness through meditation and yoga, and express united consciousness through dance and music. Around 100 countries will be participating in some or the other delegates or representatives of around 100 countries will be there as spectators or participants in this global program. I welcome all of you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful journey of united consciousness. I would also like to thank Indian Council of Cultural Relationships to promote this event, to support this event world over. Thank you very much.
I'm very honored and delighted to welcome our performance from the organization Play for Change. Play for Change is not only the organization, but it is a movement created to inspire and connect the world through music and break the boundaries. They reimagine a world connected by music to spread a global message of hope and unity. Playing for Change was born in 2002 as a shared vision between co-founder Mark Johnson and Whitney Kroenke. This musical journey resulted in the award-winning documentary, a cinematic discovery of a street music. Today they are playing Sachita song. In the group we have Adrian Bruno from Argentina, Afro Reggae Choi from Brazil, Afro Reggae Drum Group from Brazil, Binho from Brazil, Sinsona D. Esses from Brazil, Kotini Bam Dedrick from Jamaica, Enzo Bruno from Argentina, Elo Ferreira from Cape Verde, Luis Conte from Cuba, Martino da Cuca from Brazil, Neol Cyrus from Argentina, Pritinho da Serriha from Brazil, Dr. Janardhan Mitta from India, R. Shruti from India, Ronaldo Popo from Brazil, Rigoberto from Cuba, Sindhavi from India, Sandra Disa from Brazil, Walters from Brazil, and Nino Josel from Spain.
Deus, que os homens encontrem os seus passos perdidos e que os sonhos despertem esses olhos dormidos, que o amor transborde e vivamos em paz. Que os dias terminem com os braços cansados e que a sorte só queira estar ao teu lado, que a dor não me assombre nem me cause desvelo. Peça a Deus. Satitaranda para Brahma, Purushottama para Matma, Shri Bhagavati Sameda, Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Oh, oh, oh, oh. Peça a Deus que nos mande do céu muita sabedoria, um amor verdadeiro, que ninguém passe fome, um abraço de irmão, que vivamos em paz. Ei, que terminem as guerras e também a pobreza, encontrar alegrias entre tanta tristeza, que a luz ilumine as almas perdidas e um futuro melhor. Satitaranda para Brahma, Purushottama para Matma, Shri Bhagavati Sameda, Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Oh, oh, oh, oh, oh.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Play for Change musical group for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and giving such a wonderful performances. Thank you so much. A secret to keep smiling is to make others smile. Help others to be happy, and you shall be happy forever. This way of the life is preached and followed by our virtuous speaker Acharya Vivek Gupta ji, who is a living example of how to live life beautifully and spiritually without any worries. Acharya Vivek Gupta ji is the Acharya of Chinmaya Mission, Canada. He was born in India and was brought up in Canada. He is a disciple of Pujaniya Swami Tejomayananda ji, whose continuous blessings and guidance has led his spiritual path. He joined Chinmaya Mission during high school for his spiritual excellence. As a successful Canadian business graduate, he believes that self-education remains incomplete without acquiring spiritual knowledge. He has perfectly quoted life in one sentence. Life is a gift. Living is an art. The more you explore it, the more you love your life. I would like to welcome Acharya Vivek ji. Please enlighten us all with your divine light.
Hari Om and greetings from Niagara Falls. I begin by expressing my appreciation to United Consciousness. This is not just an organization. This is an organization with vision. As we keep hearing about and reading about, we need more of such organizations with vision. And my appreciation to all of you, the listeners, the reflectors, you're all seekers. You're a seeker because you know there's more to life. And that's why we're trying to unite with consciousness in this global conclave. This morning, I will be speaking on spirituality in interpersonal relationships. Spirituality in interpersonal relationships. I live less than 2 kilometers from my parents. I have 2 sisters. I've been married for more than 10 years. I have 2 children under 5. So lots of relationships. This is a relevant subject. And to make you feel this, I'm asking all of you now to reflect. You can close your eyes if you wish. Think about one of the happiest experiences of your life. Not just this month or year, your whole life. You're feeling it? Okay, now continue to reflect on one of the saddest experiences of your life. Not just this year, but your whole life. I'm confident that in both cases, the happiness and the sadness related to a relationship. The happiness may be the birth of a child. The sadness may be disloyalty from a friend. The subject is relevant, no? Our relationships have become more acute over the past 2 years. With borders being closed, with offices being closed, with schools being closed, we are becoming more close with our relationships. And this closeness is not just physical, but it's emotional also. And wherever there's more closeness, there's more conflict. When my hands are separate from each other, there's no conflict. But when they become just this close, eventually they touch each other. There's conflict. And we don't know what to do with this conflict. So this ferments to become chaos. What is needed is compassion. Being compassionate with oneself, with others, is a major field. Sociologists study and share this, psychologists do, life coaches do. So you have lots of resources on understanding and appreciating this subject. I will offer a reference from a great philosopher. This philosopher was alive more than 1,000 years ago, and what he shared is still most relevant. The philosopher's name is Acharya Shankara. In English, this means the one who leads with humility. Naturally, one who is leading with humility is one who's offering compassion to oneself and to others. And one of the most profound teachings of this philosopher is called Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam in English means choose consciousness. Bhaja means to choose, to live, and Govinda means the divine or consciousness. From this book, I'm specifically going to reference verse 24. I will sing this and then explain this in English in a simple way. Dvaimai chanyatraiko Vishnuhu Vyartam kupyasi mayasa hishnuhu Bhavasamachitta sarvatratvam Vanchasya chiradyadi vishnutvam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. The first quarter. In you, in me, in all is the presence of consciousness. This we feel is a fantasy, yet this is a fact. Your legs, your abdomen, your shoulders, you feel a oneness with every facet of your body, correct? Your legs, your abdomen, your shoulder, they look different. They have a different purpose, but you feel a oneness with them. Wouldn't the same feeling then be natural to other humans and plants and animals and stones? Making this more concrete. We all have different names. We all have different forms. Yet, the consciousness that is the foundation of all forms and names is the same, is one. Sharing this in a more concrete way, every being, stones, plants, animals, and humans, all want and need to be happy. This insight that all of us want and need to be happy shows we're all on the same team. Naturally, we should live more compassionately then. The second quarter, being angry, being annoyed is wasteful. There is no meaning to it. And I feel I don't even have to elaborate on this. When we are annoyed and or angry, are we better people? Do you think better when you're angry? Do you speak better when you're annoyed? We're worse people. So these vices, this negativity is nonsense. It doesn't help me, it doesn't help you. So why bring this to a relationship? Making this more practical, and I'm happy that these two words are used because they are connected. When annoyance is not checked, it devolves to anger. So what should we do? Whenever we're annoyed, we need to focus on that annoyance, hold on to it so that it doesn't fall to become anger. So how? How can I be less annoyed? By practicing balance. This is the third quarter. By practicing balance in all places, all circumstances, with all beings, especially those who are close to you. Sharing this more simply, be calm. My master, Pujaswami Tejomayananda, has shared in a spiritual parenting book. The first practice, be calm. And some tactile ways to do this. In the short term, concentrate. Visualize there's a rope tied between your head and your hands. So wherever your hands are, make sure your head is there. This concentration will nurture calmness. In the midterm, collaborate. We all know, as you think, so you develop. If I have negative thoughts, I'm going to be negative. But if I have positive thoughts, I will be positive. So collaborate means ask for help with your thoughts. Think, chant, I am happy. Or Bhaja Govindam. If you keep thinking and saying this, you will nurture calmness. And in the long term, it is contemplate. Contemplation is when we watch our thoughts rather than be possessed by our thoughts. Here in Niagara, it's snowing, and I'm watching the snow. It's so enjoyable, but if I have to go outside and shovel and so on, it's like I'm possessed by that snow. Be calm. And the last quarter shares. Through such a lifestyle and vision, one will soon feel this consciousness. I had read a very fascinating and factual quote that said, assumptions are the termites of relationships. When we do not communicate in our relationships, they start to deteriorate. And so if we want to feel this consciousness, we have to commune. I have to come closer to you, not just physically, not just emotionally, but spiritually. And the way to facilitate that? Communication. Our default should be communication. In our lives, when we travel, we have lots of checks. Checks like, do I have my passport? And is there gas in the car? My final thought for all of you. Sociologists have shared that the two qualities that humans are drawn to, are inspired by, are authenticity and depth. So as you go about completing 2021 and commencing 2022, with every relationship, visualize in your mind this check. Am I being authentic? Am I being deep? That is Bhaja Govindam. Choosing consciousness, that is living spirituality in interpersonal relationships. My gratitude to our organizers and our seekers. Once again, be well. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, respected Vivek ji, and bringing this important topic to with this simplicity. You mentioned about how closeness, if not properly dealt with, it may lead to conflict and chaos. And as a solution, you brought compassion towards self and others. And you rightly quoted Bhaj Govindam, and you gave us a beautiful combination of concentration with collaboration and calmness leads to contemplation in the long run. I loved your example of snow. It is so clear to understand how you can watch your thoughts, and that leads to consciousness in the long run. I'm sure that our audience, getting inspired by you, will certainly be in New Year and from today onwards be more authentic and deep in their relationships, and they will communicate more to self and others also in spiritual realms also. Thank you very much, Vivekji. We are really honored.
Thank you, Vikranchi, and thank you to all of the organizers and seekers again, again and again and again.
Regards. Thank you.
We thank Acharya Vivekji for his excellent discourse. Thank you so much, Acharya Vivekji. I feel privileged in welcoming our next guest, who is the enlightened soul illuminating his followers. He is Swami Tattvamayanandaji. Swamiji is currently the minister in charge of the Vedanta Society of North California, San Francisco. He served in various centers of the Ramakrishna Order in India as an editor, publisher, and teacher of Sanskrit, Advaitic texts such as Shri Shankaracharya's commentaries on Prasthanatraya and Indian philosophy at the Training Center in Balur Math, the headquarters of Ramakrishna Mission in India, before coming to United States. He had traditional training in Hindu scriptures, Sanskrit and Vedic literatures from his early days. Swamiji has received traditional education in Sanskrit and Vedantic scriptures and is frequently invited for lectures on yoga, Vedanta and traditional Hindu scriptures. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Swami Tattvamayanandaji.
Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. I am indeed very grateful to the United Consciousness for this invitation to speak on this very interesting subject, spirituality and the art of acceptance. This COVID-19 has been a tremendous tragedy that has affected humanity all over the world, but it also has given us a chance and opportunity to look beyond the narrow limitations of our own utilitarian empirical circumstances. More than anything else, it has taught us in a very unpleasant way the bitter lesson that the world is one, humanity is one, and we cannot live as tiny little islands. There is an interrelatedness, interconnectedness that compels us to look upon the entire humanity as one spiritual family. One of the important lessons that Swami Vivekananda gave to us in modern times, especially when he was talking about religion and spirituality, is that religion cannot become an exclusive ivory tower. Religion has to be interpreted as spiritual humanism, to be more precise, as universal spiritual humanism. And what we need today is this new spiritual and universal paradigm based on the fact that humanity is one, that the entire human family is one spiritual family, based on our ancient Vedic ideal Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In other words, we cannot live as little tiny isolated pockets. That will force us to look beyond the utilitarian, ultra-pragmatic interpretation of life. It also will give us a scope for evolution at another level. We don't have any more scope for evolving at the biological, physical level, but there is still plenty of scope for our evolution at the cultural and spiritual level. We have to expand ourselves, and we have to look upon the whole humanity as non-different from ourselves. We have to think of this universal spiritual ideal that unites the entire humanity and helps us to look beyond the narrow boundaries of religion, nationality, race, color, and languages. Now, what we need today is a combination, a blending of action and contemplation. Contemplation helps us to understand the limitation of material success. Action helps us to succeed in this world. I am reminded of this ancient Indian ideal of Rajarshi. Rajarshi is a person who combines in his personality the dynamism, the energy, the organizational skill, the efficiency of a ruling monarch and the calm, contemplative ideal of a sage. If one can be sagely within and kingly without, if one can be successful in spiritual life as well as in material life. Because success in the true sense can be a real success only when we are able to make proper use of the fruits of our success. A person who builds up an empire of industry and commerce, who becomes a millionaire or a billionaire, but if he cannot have 4 hours of sleep without making use of sleeping pills, then his life is not really a success. So success becomes real success only when we are able to make proper use of our success. Now, to really combine secular prosperity and spiritual personality, we have to understand that material success alone cannot give us peace of mind. And without peace of mind, we cannot have contentment. And without contentment, we won't be able to make proper use of science and technology that we have developed so much during the last 50, 60 years. And this is all the more true in this age of information technology. Therefore, what we need today is a combination of the best of the traditional and best of the modern. If we can combine the highest and the most wonderful fruits of science and technology, at the same time, along with that, if we can imbibe and keep intact our own traditional Indian spiritual values, then that would be the highest paradigm of life that we can think of. This is possible only when we look upon the whole humanity as one spiritual family. In other words, spirituality should express itself not only in the form of peace of mind and a sense of fulfillment within, but also as harmony and friendship and broad-mindedness and compassion in our interaction with others. In other words, spirituality should help us to see God outside the place of worship, outside the temple, outside the church, beyond and within the external differences, the socio-anthropological diversities. There is one humanity, and that unifying, harmonizing thread that helps us to look upon the whole humanity as one spiritual family is this spirituality. Spirituality helps us to look upon everything from the other person's perspective. In fact, the highest spiritual man is a person who looks upon the whole humanity as existing in God and looks upon God as the divine spirit residing in all human beings. I am again reminded of a wonderful verse in the Bhagavata Purana. It comes in the 11th skandha in Nimi Navayogi Sambhada. It's a dialogue between 9 sages and a great philosopher king, like the philosopher king expounded in Plato's Republic. His name is Nimi. When 9 sages, their names are Kavir Harir Andariksha Prabuddha Pippalayanaha Havi Kotroda Dumilas Chamasa Karabhajanaha. These 9 sages, Kavihi, Ari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Chamasa, Karabhajana, and so on, when they visited King Janaka, his name is Nimi, the king Nimi, he was Mithila, the king puts one question to each of them. And one question that he puts to the third sage, Kavihi, Harihi, Antariksha. That question was, who is the really spiritual man in this world? What is the sign of spirituality? And the answer actually implies this central topic that we are discussing. Spirituality is actually an art of acceptance. The spirituality is the art of seeing God in humanity and seeing humanity in God. That is Sarva Bhudeshu Yapashet Bhagavad Bhavam Atmanaha Bhudani Bhagavadi Atmani Esha Bhagavatottamaha. This is a very wonderful verse in which Antariksha says the highest devotee of God, a truly spiritual man, is he who sees the presence of the divine God as Atman, present in everyone, and who at the same time sees everyone as present in God. In other words, accepting the whole humanity as our own brothers and sisters, looking upon the whole humanity as our spiritual family, and in fact looking upon everyone as non-different from ourselves, so that the otherness disappears. The whole humanity is one spiritual family. That is the real definition of spirituality in modern times, acceptable to modern times, and that definition of spirituality goes far beyond the conventional definitions of religion, which is actually a kind of man-made structure confined to a place of worship, a sacred book, certain rituals, some priestcraft, and some mechanical rituals. Of course, these things are important. They do have their place in our spiritual evolution, but higher spirituality goes beyond all that. Spirituality is actually experience of seeing everyone as one spiritual family. It goes beyond rituals, belief systems, theology and philosophy. It is actually experience. Anubhavaiga Vedyam, as Shankaracharya puts in his bhashyas. This is the true meaning of spirituality. So this is the highest reach of spirituality. So when you reach the top of a hill, when you look down, then you would see that there are so many roads, so many trails that will take you to the top of the hill. The top of the hill is this experience, that is spirituality. Religion, defined as rituals and philosophy, is not enough. The religion should reach its fulfillment, and that is experience, experiencing the whole humanity as one spiritual family. When we reach this highest goal of spiritual evolution, then we find everyone can follow his or her own path, his or her own road, and he or she can reach her or his destination, that is this spiritual enlightenment. That is the top of the hill. So it's a very interesting topic. In fact, a spiritually elevated person should be an embodiment of this ideal of acceptance, accepting everyone as non-different from himself, accepting everyone as a member of his own spiritual family. That will help us to become better human beings. When we become spiritual, we should become better human beings. When we worship God in the temple, when we love God, that love, the reverence to the deity should express in the form of love, compassion, understanding, forbearance, and a broad-minded outlook, and above everything else, as spiritual humanism, or this ideal of spiritual tolerance. That's the hallmark of a truly spiritual person. You find this great ideal in the lives of all the great spiritual teachers the world has seen, by the Buddha, Christ, Shankaracharya, or Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. You can find all these great spiritual teachers were embodiments of this highest spiritual ideal of universal spiritual humanism, which helps us to accept everyone as members of our own global spiritual family. I fully endorse the efforts of this organization, United Consciousness, and I pray to the Almighty Lord for their success and prosperity. Thank you. Namaskar.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Swami Tattvamayananda ji for his enlightening discourse. Thank you so much. Pandit Radhesham Mishra ji. With 20 years of extensive yoga teaching experience, Pandit Radhesham Mishra ji has vast and deep know-how of Indian culture and traditions. A man with deep urge to serve humanity and mankind, Pandit ji has earned numerous awards in the field of yoga and is an active member of International Board of Yoga. International Yoga Federation has appointed Pandit ji as Honorable Secretary of IYF of Madhya Pradesh State of India. He has established Yoga Training and Research Center in Ujjain, certified by Yoga Alliance International for conducting teaching training programs and various research projects in the field of yoga for the total health.
My pranams to you all. I will start with the Shanti mantra. Om Bhatram Karnebhihi Shrunuyam Devaha Bhatram Pashyema Kshabriyajatraha Isthirairangai Stushtuva Gusastanubhir Vyasvanomahi Vyashemahi Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indo Vridhashavaha Swastinaha Pusha Vishvedaha Swastinastaraksho Arishthanemihi Swastino Brihaspatiradhatu. The meaning of these Veda richas are very significant as of today's event. Om, O God, may we hear auspicious words with the ears while engaged in yajnas. This is the beginning. Bhadram Karnebhihi Shrunuyam Deva. So here I would like to thank the whole team of United Consciousness event. And this is what you people are doing. Jnana Yajna. This whole conference is nothing but, in my opinion, is Yajna of Jnana. Jnana which comes from within, Jnana which comes from Vedas, Upanishads, and our scriptures. Various spiritual enlightened people are here, and with your request, they have come to this platform and shared their valuable thoughts. I was listening to Acharya Vivek and just now Swamiji. Such a great gems of our Hindu philosophy are there around the world, and you people are bringing them at one platform. So my gratitude to you all for doing this. And here I am with my seva to this conference. I'm not a very knowledgeable person. I'm on the path and doing my sadhana. I'm a sadhaka. But since I got this opportunity to share some of the thoughts on yoga to our daily life, the nice title given by Vikrantji, yoga for adding years to your life and life to your years. Yes, we have to understand the purpose of life first. Many people around the world do not give thought on what is the purpose of life, what is the objective of life, or even if they give thought to it, they don't go much deep. They all go superficially and follow the like bhed chal, or how sheeps they follow each other. Friends, I meet many people, educated one, wealthy one, successful ones, and I ask them, what is the purpose of your life? Some of them they say, I want to become a CEO of a big company. I want to become a director of this big corporate world or big organization, or I want to become the chief of this bank company, or in my business, I want to become rich, rich, and rich, and successful, successful, and successful. These two are the objective of many people around the world, rich and successful. When they become rich and successful, then what? What happens then? Then they realize they have lost so much valuable, most valuable things in their life to while becoming rich and successful, and that is something missing in life, and we are not able to enjoy this success, the outcome of success, outcome of this richness. Few, very few are there who are balancing in success, richness, and the most valuable things. Most valuable thing in the life is the health, our health, through which we can enjoy this richness or success. It's not difficult to become rich, to become successful in the term of what people say, what is success. Many people know you, many you have cars and bungalows and many things. What about you have everything but not good health? You have everything but not the good span of life. Many successful people we see in the world dying much earlier than their normal age. If you can see those people, more successful ones, dying at the age of 60, 40, 45, 50. Lucky ones goes up to 70, and very rarely someone goes to 80, 85. Is it the age of human life? Is this the maximum age of human life? No, friends. As per Vagbhatta, the very famous and scholar of Ayurveda, Shastra, and ancient Hindu culture, he says, as per his Shodha or research, the human life has approximately 120 years. We can live 120 years. But how many of us can plan? How many of us can see others living 120 years? Very, very rare. There are some part of the world, they have certain lifestyle, they live more than 100 years. But majority of people in the world, they live less than 100 years, less than 90, majority less than 70. And youngsters of present generation, they are full bundle of diseases and disorders in their body, who are running after success and rich to become rich, have wealth in the form of money, money and money. I'm not against you to become rich or successful, whatever in your way, but never ever be negligent with your health. And here, our Hindu culture, our Hindu Sanskriti, India, the country who has given a beautiful gift, yoga, to the world. We see that people around the world are practicing yoga today. Many people. I'm here in this beautiful place in Brazil. The name of the city is Buzios, which is very close from Rio de Janeiro. Here, I asked my student who is here being my host. She says there are many yoga schools in Buzios, small city of less than 200,000 people living here, but many yoga schools. But what yoga they are teaching here is just physical yoga. With that physical yoga, you may get good health, but not good age. To get good number of years to your life and years to your life to your years, we need to practice the real yoga, the right form of yoga. The right form of yoga is not something we have to find. Just go beyond 30 years. Before 30 years, there was only one yoga. When I was studying yoga, there was only one yoga, classical yoga or Raj yoga, yoga of Patanjali, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. But now there are many forms of yoga. I'm the main. I practice and teach our ancient Indian classical yoga in a packaging of modern way, because ancient Indians had a different body, modern people have different bodies. So I had to modify a little to go applicable to modern people. They are delicate. No, they are not so hard as before in Rishi's time. But along with that, we go in a scientific way. So the purpose of life is mentioned in our Shastra. That has to be understood first. Dharma, Arth, Kama, Moksha. And the way to get this is Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, and Aishwarya. Now you see, yoga is, you don't get word yoga in these things, but this is all yoga about. We need to understand the purpose of life. I'm not here to share that. You can find out, but I will give you, find out more about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, but I will give you a summary. Dharma is our kartavya or duty. Duty towards self, duty towards family, duty towards society, duty towards nation and the world. Artha, we need to work and earn. In modern time, we can give this definition. No one should be lazy. We should be using our capabilities, increasing or improving our skills all the time in our age, and offer our services to the society and get back something from the society in the form of money or help or in other form. Kama, there should be some healthy recreations, healthy entertainment, and moksha. Some time we need to give to moksha or spirituality, meditation, dhyana, going within, finding our self, real self, and reaching to the supreme self through our real self. Friends, now coming to the yoga part. Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, and Aishwarya. Whatever techniques are available in yoga, asanas, pranayamas, kriyas, bandhas, and mudras, and all, they are all here in Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, and Aishwarya. We have to follow this. Dharma, self care is very, very important. We, before giving self care, we should know what is self. Friends, it is so unfortunate that around the world we are being educated with the subjects, everything except ourselves. We know, we know as little as possible about self. I'm saying as little as possible. We know about everything as much as possible, but we know about self as little as possible. We know nothing how this body functions, how our senses functions, how our nervous system functions, how everything functions. What to do and what not to do with this body. So when we practice meditative postures, we improve this ability of self-care. We start to see ourselves, we start to find our true self. When we sit and meditate in Sukhasana, Padmasana, Virasana, Vajrasana, practice for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or if you have time, 1 hour, and you see the effect, you get the sense of what am I from inside, the real one. Huh? So, dharma, asanas, which giving you this ability to understand the self, are all the meditative asanas. Jnana, when we practice those asanas where balance is required, like Utkatasana, Ekpadasana, Tadasana, where we stretch our body fully, we stand and make balance, we understand about the self. The jnana about self comes from within. And we are we increase the our sensitivity. We become very sensitive about our things. Anything happens inside, we start to understand about this happening from very beginning, not when it becomes so big and you become a deceased person. And then comes vairagya, those asanas which is like forward bending asanas and relaxation asanas, which you bend forward, you sit in Paschimottanasana, you get the sense and ability of Vairagya Bhav. And this Bhav is important. Bending forward and leaving yourself, leaving your ego, how stiff we are from the mind, from the body. That stiffness of the mind and body should go away from us. Ahankara should go away from us. Most of the problems in our life is because of the ego, that ahankara. Practicing those asanas, which bending forwards and relaxation, you get this bhava, this attitude in your mind. And Aishwarya, in the sense of achievement, when you practice those difficult asanas like Dhanurasana and Chakrasanas, Bhujangasana, and some kriyas, Shankha Prakshalan, pranayamas, that gives Aishwarya bhava of self achievement. You have achieved something from the self. These all bhavas you get dharma, jnana, vairagya, aishwarya through various yoga techniques. And you understand how important it is to live a healthy life, the life, a long life without any disease and disorders. I ask people, how long do you want to live? They are afraid to say, I want to live longer because they understand it is so painful to live long. They see old people, how painful it is for them and how dependent they are on others. So they don't want to live long. But suppose you get a key of becoming a person of 100 years or more than 100 years without being dependent, without being a deceased person, a disease or disorder, why don't why won't you think about living long. Yes, you can enjoy by serving others. I would like to live for 120 years, not for the purpose of enjoying the life. My enjoyment comes by serving others. I would like to serve yoga to the humanity, to the mankind, to people around the world. That's what I'm doing. And that is the purpose of my life at the moment. And I would like to do this as long as possible. Friends, by practice of yoga, real yoga, which is the combination of all these techniques I said, asanas, pranayamas, bandha, mudra, and kriyas, and meditation. If you do that, you will live long. Your aging will become slow. And this is what I see in me. This is what you can see in the teachers I have trained around the world. They are living for many years, but they more they live, they look younger. This is what is happening with me. Last 25 years, I see that I'm becoming younger and younger, not from just outside, from my inside. I always say I have three age um, in me. One is my head, age of my heart, which is only 30 years. If you check, if I go and go for echocardiography or angiography or any kind of health test of checkup of heart, the doctors will say is functioning so well. So heart age is only 30 years. Body age is 54 years. And biological age is for 54 years. And mental age, I don't want to say that, but it is many, many decades. So by the practice of meditation, you get mental age so much and heart age so less. And in between, you have your biological age. My best wishes to all the viewers and organizers. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be with you all. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Pandit Radheshyam Mishraji. Thank you for bringing the holistic aspect of yoga to all of us. And you connected yoga with four Purusharthas and Dharma, Gyan, Vairagya, and Aishwarya also. And you also mentioned that
On behalf of United Consciousness,
very much for being there with us. Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Pandit Radheshyam Mishraji for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much. It's my honor to introduce our next esteemed guest, Ms. Sebeta Gir from India. She is UN representative at Brahmakumari's World Spiritual University in New York for the past 6 years. Her work is based on understanding that real change begins with a shift in awareness facilitated by a spiritual-based approach called Raj Yoga. Sister Sabita is practicing student and teacher of this art of yoga for over 40 years. She mentors and initiates youth, women, and men in many projects related to UN Sustainable Development Goals. She has conducted courses, facilitated workshops, and retreats in the Caribbean, UK, India, Middle East, and many states across the US. She has been a representative of Brahmakumaris in the US for last 22 years. She is also very passionate about climate change. She feels that her purpose on this earth lies in upholding the principles of truth and non-violence in her life while serving the world to make it a better place to live in. Using peaceful building methods in 110 countries, the Brahmakumaris supported the UN 2030 agenda and the SDGs. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Sebeta Gir.
Namaskar. Good morning. Om Shanti. Greetings of peace. It is indeed my pleasure and my honor to be part of this conference, this conclave organized by the United Consciousness. And I feel that it is very, very timely that you are organizing something like this. So once again, it is my pleasure to be here and to share with you some insights. And thank you very much for the opportunity and for the lovely introduction. I'm humbled. The topic you have given me today is spirituality and self control. I have listened to a few of the speakers before me, and I must compliment them for the wisdom that they shared. And I hope that I'll be able to add some more tips, some more uh, ways and methods that we can all use, including myself, to improve not only our life, but the lives of everyone else. When we think of spirituality, those of us who are on the spiritual path, this word is common and we are very comfortable with it. And it's very normal. Oh, I'm living a spiritual life, or I'm a spiritual minded person. But for the person out there, sometimes they could be a little scared of this word spirituality. Oh, what does that mean? Do I have to live like a recluse? Do I have to give up my family and children? Can I not wear something fancy? They think spirituality is a scary thing. And so, brothers and sisters, today I would like to share with you that spirituality is one of the most beautiful things that we can practice, and it is actually the essence of why we are here on the earth today. Now, my question to everyone is, what is it that you would like to enjoy in your life? Why are you working every day or almost every day? Why are you working so hard? For what? For peace, for happiness, for love, for satisfaction, for success. These are some of the main things, right? Why do we have families? Why do we have all these things that we acquire? Why do we go after acquiring material things? It's because we want to experience being fulfilled in life. We want to feel that we are successful in life. Our Swamiji talked about this a little earlier. And Panditji, just before me, also shared a little bit about, a lot actually, about living a healthy life. So these are some of the things that we want in life. And we spend our entire life working on a physical level to acquire money that we feel will buy peace of mind or love or happiness or good children or a good spouse, luxuries, fashion. Because we think that these things are going to make me feel accomplished. We feel when we dress in a certain way, fashionable, we walk around with an iPhone 13 that, oh, I have achieved, or people will look at me and say, oh, how beautiful you look. So then I get their approval. And so I begin to feel good about myself that I am beautiful. Or simple thing, oh, you're a great cook. Everything you cook is so delicious. So now we begin to identify ourselves with those things. We are waiting for the approval of others to begin to feel good about ourselves. Well, my brothers and sisters, that is definitely what spirituality is not. Spirituality is that attitude that brings us closer to our true self. And anything that takes me further away from who I really am is not spirituality. So when we get caught up in waiting for the approval of someone before I can feel good about myself, I have totally drifted away from not only what spirituality means, but also who I am. When I feel that only when I acquire certain amount of luxuries or facilities or a certain amount of money, or I achieve that position in society, or I achieve that educational status, or I get to live in a certain community, only then I feel successful and accomplished, then my friends, we are far from spirituality. And you know what? I don't have to renounce those things to be spiritual minded. I can still have the top position. I can still have an educational status, very good one. I can still dress beautifully. I can still have all the luxuries, but not at the expense of drifting away from who you are. Because the moment we do that, then we know that if I lose even a teeny weeny bit of something material, we are devastated. We lose it. We lose our peace, we lose our happiness, we lose everything. We are totally confused, we don't know what to do. And that's because we've drifted away. So nothing is wrong in acquiring those things or having them. Everything is fine with all of that, because after all, I do have a body. And so I do need to feed it, clothe it, house it, etc. But I should not forget that within this body, there exists the life force, the being, the spirit, the self, the Atma, the soul, consciousness. And that, my friends, brothers, and sisters, that's who we are. I am more than just this physical body. Every time we use the word I, what are we focusing on when we say I? When I think of myself and I identify myself with material gains, that's not the real I, that's my egoistic I. When I identify with who I truly am, the being, the Atma, the consciousness, I am then identifying myself with truth. I'm identifying myself with my true self. And when I do that, I'm able very simply to uphold truth. I can uphold my elevated principles of life. I can acquire anything I want, but I will not let go of my honesty, of my truth, of nonviolence, ahimsa, and all the principles that will help me to live a fulfilled life. So, spirituality simply means being aware that I am more than just the material. I am more than just the physical. I am more than what I see when I look into the mirror. What I am is that which lies behind the eyes, the consciousness. And at the Brahmakumaris, practicing Raj Yoga meditation, what we've realized and what we practice is what is called the spiritual trajectory. And that is what I'm aware of, my awareness will determine my attitude, my mindset. My attitude will then determine the vision, the way I see everything and everyone, including myself. That vision will then determine the choices, the decisions I make, which will then determine the quality of actions I perform. And the quality of actions I perform will then create my destiny. Now, so we have awareness, attitude, vision, action, and then my destiny. Now, the topic today is spirituality and self control. So, how do I then apply self control? Self control then comes in when I not only understand how that spiritual trajectory works, but I take it one step deeper, one step higher and deeper. And that is, I tap into not just my awareness, but my consciousness. Where is my consciousness connected to? If my consciousness is connected with the physical, then my awareness will be like that, and my attitude will be like that, my vision, my actions, my destiny will be accordingly. Which means if I'm connected with the physical, anger, greed, attachment, lust, ego, the five vices, calm, krodh, lobh, moha, and ahankar, I will come under the influence of some one of those. When I stay in tune with my true awareness, the consciousness is connected with the Atma, then my awareness will be connected with truth, ahimsa, non-violence, which will then determine my attitude, my mindset, the vision, how I look, what I see. I wouldn't see skin color, I wouldn't see religion, I wouldn't see nationality, language. I go beyond all those boundaries. The choices I make will be accordingly. My actions will be accordingly, and such will be my destiny, the fruits that I reap accordingly. So if I want to reap the fruits of peace, love, happiness, etc., I need to apply that self-control. In other words, rather than allowing myself to be drawn in or sucked into any energy that's coming to me from the outside, instead of getting drawn into that or sucked into that, I put a pause and I go within. I realign with my original consciousness of soul, of self, of the Atma, and I connect with the truth that lies within me. Then I'm able to make decisions, act from that place. In other words, we call it acting from a place of inside out. So it's very simple. To exercise self-control, I just need to apply that pause button, realign with your original truth, connect with your inner self, and then ask yourself, what I'm about to say or do, is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? And if the answer is yes, then I can go right ahead and perform that action. If the answer to any one of those questions is no, then change your mind. There is no need to rush into it. Apply self-control. Let the brake, when you apply brakes and you're going at a fast speed, your brakes have to be very strong. So apply that brake to yourself, right? Apply self-control. That comes with practice. This practice of putting the pause button on everything. Just pause, just seconds. Align with your inner self, true consciousness, who you are. And remember, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? Am I going to help someone? And if I can answer those questions, yes, then apply that. So I want to leave you with those 4 questions and also one little point before I close, and that is attitude, vision, and action. So with this, let us take 30 seconds Let us go within, pause, realign in silence, and connect with your inner truth. And feel your inner strength and your light. Thank you very much, and I wish this group all success, and we look forward to working together. All the best. Namaskar.
Namaste. Thank you very much, Sabita ji. We are really honored with your presence. So beautifully, you said that people who don't know who they are. When I don't know who am I, then I need approval from others, and when I need approval, I'm away from spirituality. It doesn't mean that I should renounce everything. Probably, body has its own needs, maybe shelter and all, but it is most important that I should know who am I. You use the words being, atma, consciousness, and truth, and you gave the complete cycle also to us that where I choose to be conscious about, where my consciousness is connected, decides my awareness. My awareness leads to attention, leads to vision, action, and finally my destiny. That way, destiny is certainly in my hands. So, any moment in life, you so beautifully told to all our audience, take a pause, reflect back, and realign yourself with your true self, and ask yourself these four questions which you beautifully said. And I'm personally going to observe them in my life, and I'm sure all other audience also, before saying anything. Is it kind, is it true, is it beneficial, and is it necessary? So it is very necessary to thank you today, to have bestowed your blessings and love to us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. All the best. Namaste.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Sabita Gir for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
Project Self, a non-profit organization that stands for empowering humanity with essential life skills for building a strong foundation for lifelong wellness. Our programs help individuals to gain better health, emotional intelligence, and spiritual awareness. Classes include kids yoga, adult yoga, mindfulness meditation, and scriptural studies. Yoga for kids are designed to keep the kids as kids, resilient, focused, and fit. Kid-friendly program focus on their social and emotional well-being.
The ultimate solution prescribed by Krishna is the self-knowledge, because only with the self-knowledge all our sufferings and problems can be removed.
Understanding and learning scriptures will help you lead a life with its full potential. It will help you to find peace, happiness, and contentment in life. Yoga for adults focus on physical postures that bring balance, flexibility, and body awareness. Carefully crafted program covers different aspects of meditation that bring body-mind relaxation and other powerful benefits, including stress reduction.
Being a part of Project Self for over 5 years has not only given me so many physical benefits from doing yoga, but also many mental benefits from learning about mindfulness, wellness, and how to de-stress.
Pranayama class has helped me learn proper breathing technique, and the meditation class has helped me focus my mind better.
I am learning Vedanta as well as Bhagavad Gita to connect myself to the spiritual world as well as to understand the real meaning of this life.
To experience oneness with the creation means to merge with the cosmos, which is beyond duality. By united consciousness, we mean there is no myself against another, but myself as all others. Spirituality teaches us universal love for all things, a greater calmness and harmony with nature. Let's understand more about it by our expert panelists in a panel discussion on the topic spirituality and united consciousness. In the panel, we also have with us Ms. Sara Burace from Morocco. She is co-founder of Lee Corner Agro College and done her 500 hours yoga teachers training from Yoga Institute of Mumbai. She also has registered for Vinayasa Yoga teachers training and Hatha Yoga teachers training. In 2017, she worked in Go Brian as marketing and communication manager. Nowadays, she is communication and brand content manager in Active Corner Solutions. In the panel, we have with us Bholanath Yogi ji from Nath Tradition, Principal HVP Nepal. He is also the founder of Children's Peace Home. Nath Tradition refers to the masters of the entire universe and the doer of all supreme human deeds. The origin of the Nath community is associated with the Gorakhanath, the yogic incarnation of Lord Shiva to spread the teachings of the science of yoga. The Nath community is a shared home for all people regardless of their gender, caste and religion. There are two types of Nath, household Naths and emancipated Naths gurus. The household Naths see them as a descendant of Nath who broke their vows of the celibacy and settled down. Any individual from any caste who gets influenced by and believes in Nath tradition can be emancipated saint. They must follow the 3 steps of teaching, emancipation and Gorakhabana. The Naths follow 12 panthas, 12 ideologies having 12 communities or 12 surnames, and there were 6 gurus of Shiva Yogi and 6 gurus of Gorakha Yogi. The Naths further follow the principles of Chaurasi Siddha. In Nath's tradition, 84 enlightened gurus have explored the basis of the survival of every creature. Nath Sampradaya has 9 Naths who were Siddhas and had perfected their mastery of yoga. Our next panelist is Ms. Betty Farhina from South Africa. She is helping fired up women. She works on the mindset of women and level of self-love. She has been into depression and anxiety and chronic fatigue, but with her extraordinary abilities overcome all of them. Now she impacts women's life by teaching them how to tap into the power of their minds and self-love first to create lives that they are in love with. Our next panelist is on the path of searching for the realization and spiritual stabilization of the consciousness of being. He is Eloizio Rosa Monteiro. He is a trained Qigong with Mentak Chia and Tai Chia Chuan with masters Liu Pai Lin and Wong. Traditional Chinese medicine and energy therapy with Seiji Yokuma and Patrick Paul. Spiragic alchemy with Tony Ceron and flower essence with FlexiBridge. He has been working with natural therapies for 38 years. He stayed with Sufis for 33 years practicing Zikr and spiritual alchemy. In the last 5 years, he has met the masters of the direct path of non-duality Advaita Vedanta such as Atmananda Krishna Menon, Jean Klein, etc. Then he realized the consciousness of being pure transparency and happiness. Now he is teaching meditation and dialogues from the non-dual perspective. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tober, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomer is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Namaste, respected guests, and namaste, all the audience from different parts of the world. We acknowledge your presence, Farina ji. We acknowledge your presence, Montorio ji and Bholanath ji. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Namaste. Dear friends, we are excited to have our panel discussion on spirituality and united consciousness. We have experts who have been in the Nath tradition. We have experts from Sufi, Advait Vedantin. We have experts who have worked in women empowerment. And the topic we are going to discuss is united consciousness. How spirituality brings united consciousness in this otherwise fragmented world. So let's begin from maybe Monterio ji. Would like to ask this question from you. You have been studying Advait Vedanta also, and Sufi Zikr also you have been studying. So, all religion talks about equality. All religion talks about that everybody is equal in front of Creator. But then, why the followers create so much divisions in themselves? Women had to fight for 3 millennia just to get voter right, equality in the society. Still, world is fragmented in caste, creed, race, religion. When all religions are talking about equality, why, in spite of 4,000 years of civilization, we still could not get equality? Over to you, Montario ji. When all religions talks about equality, why don't we have an equal society?
I think it's very simple. Consciousness is everything. Now, ask yourself, what would it be like if absolutely all that exists is pure consciousness? What if there was nothing physical, material, or mental anywhere but only consciousness? In this sense, none of the limitations or divisions associated with objects or bodies in a material world would exist. Only pure consciousness manifesting and creates itself at every moment. It looks amazing. And it's really true. Right now, all your existence, everything that exists is truly made of consciousness. The truth is very simple. The difficulty is how to digest it. All spiritual traditions try to teach us how to chew it and have a good digestion. We remember that there is a transcendent unity of all religions, as well as an immanent unity of all beings. If you ask any human being on the street if he is conscious, in a few seconds, he will answer yes. Every difficulty or indigestion begins when you believe, as a belief and concept, that we are this object called body and mind. If you pay attention, we see through the experience that the body emerges or appears in the consciousness that we are. When you close your eyes, we realize that the body we imagine are images that do not match what we perceive. Because what we perceive is pure sensation of not having limits. That is, the transparency or reality of our body can came to be perceived as the universe. Our
Thank
body
you.
is the universe. Therefore,
Thank you. Yeah, yeah,
consciousness,
yes, yes.
yes, consciousness
Uh,
is the reality that perceives everything we experience right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Montario said that once you connect yourself with the identity of pure consciousness, then you can see beyond these divisions, because this material world is not that real. It
Yes.
exists in illusion, and in mind and body, they exist in illusion. But let's go to Nath Sampradaya. The same question. Nath Sampradaya itself is a deep philosophy. How do we see? The question is very simple. When all religion says that everybody is equal, then why at home males do not consider female as equal? Why there is a difference on the basis of color of skin we do in this world? What Nath Sampradaya has to tell about it?
Thank you. First of all, Nath Sampradaya, I want to say namaste to everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me there. Natha's name itself is Natha means to join together. And Nath and yoga comes together. That means join with the everything, like rich to the poor, father to the mother, or person to the country or society. Everything is called natha, like joining. Yoga also has the same meaning. Now the concept of nath is that there are two ways to go with. One is called prapti marga, other is called nibriti marga. There are nigama, gamau, anadi. There are two ways, nigam and agam, and both are anadi. Nigam means all the Vedas, Puranas, Shastras, all called nigam. So whatever we achieve things, we achieve knowledge, we achieve money, we achieve people, whatever achieving is all called nigam. Because this world has been taught by the nigam only, and we forget the agam. Because sometimes very rich people also, they have got everything, but still they work. Why they work? Because they work for the society. They put themselves in pain. They go to the dirty market, dirty places to help the dirty, like people are in dirt. So to help them, so they put themselves in the danger or in problems, because in them also there is something agam feeling inside. So Nath concept is the actually agam concept. So agam represents yoga and tantra. Shariram adyam khalu dharma sadhanam, or etpinde tad brahmande is the concept of the tantra. So agam vidya is just to give up, nibriti marga, not to get at anything, not to achieve the swarga or apavarga also, not achieve the like heaven or anything. Whereas in nigam, what happens? Whatever we do for the health, we do for to get the knowledge, we do for the like in heaven, we do the yajnas and everything to get something. So the one vidya has been left over. Because of that, human are sort of trying to find out what we are actually. So these two vidya should have gone together. That's why Gorakhnath is saying, like instead of the big mantras, like difficult mantras, we need to have Sanskrit slokas, Sanskrit mantras, have the Suddha Suddhi also. He said very simple, like if you say the Gorakhnath, he given mantras in the local languages. That's why people say Gorakhnath, he was the man who is given mantra in Hindi. So he uplifted Hindi. He made the standard with Hindi. So his mantra is called like Eksara Sallo, Duksara Sallo, Bara Atha, Bisallo, Sallo, Pillo, Tillo, Chillo, Raksha Karu, Sarva Salvo, Omu Patswa, Subda Sacha, Pinda Kacha, Puro Mantri, Ishwaro Vacha. What does it mean? Doesn't mean anything. Just you bubbling your mouth. And these are the mantra.
Thank
So
you.
he gives
Thank
mantras
you.
in the local languages, in Hindi, in Gujarati, in Punjabi. So that's why he lifted people from the ground. Those
Thank
people
you,
that
Bholanath ji. Thank you. So Bholanath ji added that Natha Sampradaya is more connected with the Nivrati Marga or the Agam traditions, which talks about yoga and tantra, not getting too much involved in the worldly matters, but being aloof and trying to realize oneself rather than pravatti in order to gain something. No, it is to leave everything. But the question is, in order to leave everything, it is easy if I leave this glass, but it is very difficult to leave the attachment that I have with this glass. It is easy to leave things, but it is difficult to leave ego. We have Farina with us. Farina, what's your take? Have males been able to leave their ego since last 3,000 years? Do they consider female as equal in letter and in its spirit, not only in such discourses or on the public platforms? Do they really consider women equal? Have they been able to do it since last 3,000 years?
That is such a good question. I love how you asked the female this question. I do believe consciously males are definitely looking more at a spiritual aspect of women as well, seeing them in an equal aspect, whether that is in the job place or the marketplace, in the family environment. I do think obviously there's always a 50-50 where males will say women are purely there as nurturers and that is a job they need to fulfill, where I feel a lot of people are elevating on a conscious level and going beyond male, female, the color of your skin, where you are from, even to the extent of how successful you are, wealthy you are. If you start really becoming conscious of oneness, all of that disappears, right? All that is left is love, divine abundance, joy, bliss. And regardless if you are male or female, young or old, wherever you are coming from, when you can tap into that consciousness and that oneness, that vibration of the divine, you really go out and you don't seek happiness from without, you go inwards. And then, regardless whether you're male or female, that doesn't make you happy. The happiness comes from connecting to spirit. And I do feel that there are a lot of men that are coming into that consciousness of nurturing the soul as well as the human aspect. And you start seeing each other as oneness instead of division, right? In any kind of thing.
Thank you.
If that makes sense, but it
Oh,
was
so
a quick.
Farina has been very modest and kind towards male. And she said, look, it is 50-50. And if the male is really enlightened, if he's really elevated and he connects with consciousness, then the
Yes.
male will understand that the spirit has no gender. And once
Yes.
you understand this, then you don't see such divisions on the basis of gender. But the question still remains in our society, as we say, Monterius G said, that this world of mind and body metrics is an illusionary world, and reality is consciousness. But the problem is, I need to live in this illusionary world on day-to-day basis. And this illusionary world is a world full of divisions on the basis of race, caste, and so many things. So, what's your take, Montorioji? That big philosophy that we are one, Advaita, how
Yes,
can
yes.
I start living it? How can I start living it? Because I see I am the boss, he is my junior, and we are two. Two people wants to marry one single person, and there is a competition. Two people appearing in the same exam, there is a competition. So how can I talk about that oneness Advait that you are talking about? How can I live it?
It's through understand what every human being seeks most in life is something that is in fact its most basic and essential nature, that is happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. Note that all small children transmit are pure happiness, as they are not in fact identified with the body or social, cultural character, man, woman, adult, rich, poor, born, or to such or such parents. This true itself is what matters. The rest are shadows, illusions, concepts, and beliefs detached from our direct experience. Essentially, consciousness is vibration, it is movement. When devoid of progression, its nature is wonder, beauty, and peace. What is felt as movement is pure consciousness saturated with joy. In the pure consciousness that we are, the cosmic actor coagulated into an individual and mysteriously plays all the roles in the theater of life. The feeling or belief of the separate self is the source of all of humanity's ills. Well, we exist is true, but we exist like waves in the ocean. The waves do exist, but they are nothing more than the ocean. The separate self is conflict. The dissolution of the separate self is peace. Happiness, just about happiness is the absence of the person. is pure love.
Thank you. So Montorio ji said, yes, there are many divisions, but everybody seeks happiness. And all the world that you see around, everything other than this are just concepts. We come and play our roles in this theater of life. So now two things he mentioned important here. One is happiness, and another thing he mentioned about the roles we play. And he says that once the waves consider themselves oceans, then becomes difficulty. The moment they surrender to the ocean, then they become one. That's nice to hear, and that's great point that you raised. But let me ask the Nath Sampradaya. You're talking about Nivrati, leaving everything. Then how can I be happy if I leave everything? Do you recommend me to leave kids, leave family, leave house? And how can I be happy? And if I become happy leaving everything, happy when I leave them. So when it comes to united consciousness, is leaving people, leaving things, will make me more conscious about our unity?
जे हर सही पर संपत्ति देखी दुखित हो ही पर विपत्ति विशेषी. Living means like that. अष्टादश पुराणेषु व्यासस्य वचनद्वयं परोपकार पुण्याय पापाय परपीडनम. Who becomes happy to see other people's progress and who becomes unhappy if sees someone in misery. That is the way we want to teach people, humanity. Actually, what happened? People has given importance to everything except him or except humanity. So they give an importance to their body, not to the soul. Nath Sampradaya says it's not important to achieve something. It is something you want to know. I mean, it is important to know things, not to achieve. In Hindi, there is saying here, "Jiska paap, uska punya. Jiska paap na punya." So in Nath Sampradaya, Yogi says they do not work for the punya, because if they achieve punya, then they will go to the heaven. So now the situation, like in Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it says, detestly use this word bhoga, like we say any if you have got anything like a desire, whatever you're doing, that means you're doing again in the same way as the papa karma, because you need to have the papa and the punya also in the desire. Without desire, without any seeking, if you're working, that is sort of like Natha says.
Thank you very much. Yes. So Dr. Bholanath ji said, no, it's not about physically leaving. He said, you may be there, but leave the desires. Go beyond this pap and punya, then still being in the family, you can lead life like a sannyasi. You don't need to leave your house in order to be detached. You can remain in things and still lead that kind of life. Remove the attachment for temporary, attach yourself to the permanent, leave the body, focus on soul, and that's how you will be permanently happy. Beautifully said, Bholanath ji. Now the question is, everybody quests for happiness, but because of these limitations, what and Mentorio ji and Bholanath ji mentioned, not everybody achieves it. When I try for happiness and I don't achieve it, what I feel is failure, frustration, depression. Farina, you have been helping people with that. And all the people who come to you, they all must also be trying for happiness. But majority of them could not have it. So, what do you think is the reason of their misery, and how do you support them? And how do you bring that concept that you can be happy seeing others happy, what Bholanath ji said? Because at times, if I feel like if I'm not happy, when I see somebody is very much happy, I feel all the more anger about the situations of myself and that person also. Over to you. You may need to unmute and speak, please, Farina. Bottom.
Okay. So, firstly, what I would encourage everyone is to really bring awareness that you are an energetic being. So, in order for you to experience happiness, you step out of the 3D realm of being human, which is collecting all the outside human things, the cars, the handbags, the body, whatever it is, and you go within and you tap into the consciousness of your energetic being. And when you feel your heart center and you can start expanding the capacity for love, and you start teaching your body what fulfillment feels like versus the addictive behaviors and emotions of anger, irritability, jealousy, frustration, anxiety, your body becomes addicted to those emotions. So very often you would find people wake up in the morning and they're feeling sad or frustrated or angry and they don't even know why. And it's so often that the 3D body is just addicted to it. So when you start becoming one with that energetic being, you can start expanding that heart center and you can start teaching your body all over again. What does it feel like to feel love? What does it feel like to be happy? Or the divine abundance coming to you, radical healing. What does that feel like? And that, of course, we do through meditation, and that one is tapping into the divine. So when you go into the 3D world, you know what happiness feels like without the Ferrari, right? You could sit in the midst of the COVID pandemic and still detach and know what happiness and fulfillment and bliss and joy and divinity feels like, because you keep connecting to that divine. And that is where you really merge the ego and the soul, and it becomes really happy.
Thank you. So, Farina mentioned that she used a very beautiful word. Some people they have emotional addictions. They are so addicted to be unhappy, sad. Then it becomes so obvious for them to be unhappy and sad in life. So, this is how she mentioned that connecting to yourself, energy being, and if you're not happy, at least you can think, how does it feel like being happy? At least hypothetically feel that thing, and then probably you can again connect to yourself. Now, the next question is, as it is about loving myself, but united consciousness means loving everything around me. Montorio ji, can you give us two practical tips for all our audience how I can love others also? What Farina said is, I can love myself. Fine, that's good. But then, how can I love every animal, every human, every being on this planet, one in consciousness? Two practical things that I can do from tomorrow morning onwards in order to establish united consciousness.
Practical. In this moment, I am speaking with the consciousness that is hearing these words right now. I'm speaking with consciousness, not with Vikrant, with Farina, with Bharat Yoga. I'm speaking with the consciousness that's hearing this word right now. Objectless attention is our original non-state. Consciousness is there before the appearance of objects and continues after their disappearance. Yes. Consciousness is not a state in which one enters and leaves, but the known state in which objects came and go. Consciousness is objectless attention, as consciousness is the only constant. Conscious is the background of all perceptions. It's the light that gives life to objects. The movement of the wave became unique with the movement of the ocean. You feel the full unity of universal life, a moving peace, the infinite breath in you, as every ocean is contained in a drop of water. It is the breath that comes and goes in this peace, sweet, smooth, and transparent. Peace welcomes the breath. Breathing is the expression of this peace without separation. The universe breathes in you who are breathed by the peace of being universal.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is just for
So,
understand.
excellent point he raised, Montorio ji. So beautifully, he said that tomorrow morning onwards, when you go to your office and you are talking to your subordinate, see him as consciousness, not the
Yes,
role he is performing. Tomorrow morning, when you are talking to your kids,
yes.
talk to them, remembering this, that you are talking to consciousness. Let consciousness talk to each other, remain aware about it. It will help you to see united in
Yes.
consciousness. And second,
It's
he
pure,
said,
it's pure love. In this state,
indeed,
it's pure love.
indeed. And second, he said, is the fact of the universe is every second you are breathing universe inside, and the breath you are leaving to the universe. So every moment, even physically, you can see you are one with this whole cosmos. You don't need any philosophy to understand it. Every second I am breathing out to the universe and breathing in universe. Amazing. That two realizations may help indeed. From Nath Sampradaya, one or two very specific tips in minimum words. What can I do to have loving embrace to whole universe, united in consciousness?
It's very good. Actually, first of all, I should say the dana, donation, because because people are attached with the things. So, like they want to grab something. So first of all, you need to give up yourself. Donation is the in Kali Yuga, donation is one of the very important thing to love everyone together. And
Perfect.
in
And
Nath Sampradaya, that's why this new Sampradaya or new tradition has come. No Brahmins, no Kshetri, no Vaishya, no Shudra, no black, no white, no one. Just one creature. So, if that thought, if we have got, then we can love each other. I mean, when we go to the market, why we go to the big markets? Because we want to have the big varieties. So why don't we have varieties in the earth? So we like varieties, but we like everything in the world, but except the human. We have got always jealous with someone, always like a dispute with something, and only even those philosophy came. The philosophy also have a dispute only, they divided the people. My philosophy is the best. Of course, all the philosophies are important. But Nath says, yes, Birla janahi bhedani bheda. Birla janahi dvipakacheda. The few people only know the Bheda. What is Bheda? Abheda and Bheda. There is no Bheda. There is Abheda. And Abheda has got two meanings. One meaning is as philosophical Abheda. Other meaning is the secret of the life. People do not know. Secret of life is being in the world with the happiness. We worship the dog. We worship the cow. We
uh,
worship the crow. Why do we
thank you,
worship? We want to.
Bolanaji. Yes, yes.
Sorry.
So thank you very much for adding these important points. 2 points he raised is first start donating people. Because when you give, when you do donation, then you are ready to give. Even you need to give a breath away in order to take another breath. So give and take is what life is. And that way you become united in consciousness when you're ready to give. And second, that appreciate differences and avoid divisions, because abheda is the essence of all the bhedas what you see. It is the secret behind everything. Yes, Farina ji, two tips from your side. Yeah, yes, Bolana ji, maybe in one sentence only, single
One
sentence.
second. That's why in Natha, instead of saying Soham, Soham means first you take the breath, and after the hum, you take out the breath. But Natha says Hamsa. First give a breath. First say hum, give the breath, throw your breath, then only say yes. So,
Perfect.
giving yourself is the more important. That's why Hamsa Gayatri.
Thank you very much. Farina ji, Two tips,
Okay.
very practical, executionable in minimum words.
Two tips. I would say my number one tip is finding gratitude in everything, as this is one of the highest frequencies. When you say thank you, it means that you have received, and you will certainly receive more of that frequency within yourself. That way, you could also reflect that in others, which will be you already see what others can bring into your life for the highest good, instead of looking out and where that judgment comes in or where the lack comes in. Absolutely live in a frequency of gratitude to receive more of that frequency and manifesting into your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, gratitude, she mentioned that we should have feeling of gratitude, not only for what is visible, even I'm taking breath, I haven't earned this air. Even the water I'm drinking, I haven't earned it. All the scientific inventions, if had they have not been there, we wouldn't be having talking like this. So many people have done so many things and having gratitude for everything. And that connects us in togetherness. Perfect. So, dear friends and audience, viewers watching from us from different parts of the world, we had Mentorio Ji who mentioned that consciousness is the truth and this whole world around, mind body complex, is illusion. The truth is that the true nature is happiness. Everybody seeks it. But you need to understand that we are just actors in this theater of life. And if you get too much connected or attached with your role, it will seek the problems, because as waves consider itself separate from the ocean, it is a problem for the wave, and this separation creates pain. And the solution is go beyond these roles and appearances. Speak with the consciousness to the consciousness. And that way you can go beyond the roles and understand that every breath is a infinite connection that I have with whole cosmos. Beautifully he mentioned. And then we have Bholanath ji from Nath Sampradaya. He mentioned that Nath Sampradaya is about Nivrati Marg, Tantra and Yoga. And Nivrati means giving away, seeing, being happy in others' happiness, leaving the temporary, give away the temporary, go for permanent. Leave the attachment to the body and be attached to your original being. Go beyond your desire because it leads to papa and punya. And how to realize it on a daily basis? One, start donating. You could give away something. It needs a bigger heart to donate. You and when you give a breath, you take another breath. And another thing is appreciate differences but condemn divisions. The abheda is the truth. We all are one. It is the secret. And that's why they say hamso, give away first and then go for soham. So that feeling we need to cultivate in ourselves. We had Farina with us. She said that yes, male are a good gender. And she said that they have been people, only those males who are elevated and in connect with consciousness, they see equality in the society. It is a message for all male that if you are elevated, then only you can see equality. And if you can't see the equality, it means times and years has to go into your experience. You need to see spirit, and spirit has no gender. She said that in order to bring that awareness, any moment, any mood in which you may be, know that you are an energy being, energetic being. Connect with your heart center, because some people have emotional addiction of pain and patterns in life. Connect to your heart center, feel love. And if you can't at that moment, then at least think what she said is, how does it feel being in love? And at least bring your mind in that state for some time. And the moment you get into that love, ego melts and you become one. And she said, have gratitude if you want to have united consciousness. Loving yourself first is needed. And then, in order to love everybody, have the feeling of gratitude, not only for what you can see, for all those things what you can't see, maybe for ancestors, for our being, and for all the bhutas that we have around us. So I also express my gratitude for all respected guests today. And I can see Abheda in all of us in our languages we spoke today. We come from different caste, creed, nations, but we spoke the same language. I'm sure our audience will also feel this united consciousness together. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce our next guest, Mr. Merkan Dede from Turkey. He is Montreal-based musician, producer, DJ who believes that by putting together the digital electronic sounds along with handmade human sounds, we can create the universal language capable of uniting old and young, ancient and modern, east and west. He, with his instrument, produces magical trance melodies. Many great international artists appear as guest musicians both in his albums and concerts. He studied journalism and has deep inclination towards photography. He debuted as Merkan Dede in 1995 with he released as his first album Sufi Dreams, recorded for Golden Horn Records in San Francisco. He moved to Montreal where he first studied, then taught at Concordia University. He formed his first group in 1997 and created recordings like Journey of a Dervish, Golden Horn 1999, Sahatnain Double Moon 2001 and Nar Double Moon 2002. In 2001, he performed at the highly acclaimed Montreal Jazz Festival. He is commissioned by the Turkish Ministry of Culture as the music director of the Guldistan Project. He also released Water 2005 and Bread 2006 album, which both topped the BBC World Music. So with a huge applause, please welcome Merkan Dede.
Dear friends, brothers and sisters, I am extremely honored and proud to be part of United Consciousness Conclave 2021. Life-transforming ancient wisdom will be shared in this year's topic. In December, we will be focusing on healing in environmentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, when the world needs it most. Wishing you the best of the best for all the participants and people who participate through by internet all around the world. Let's create a magical healing. Thank you.
Bak ne biçim yaktı. Gör ne yaptı. Yandım eriyorum. Kırılmış çanak çömlek. Şekil şemal gitmiş. Can idim yitmiş. Ben idim bitmiş. Dökülmüş, sökülmüşüm. Yandım eriyorum. Uyandım görüyorum. Yeniden örüyorum. İlmek ilmek, gömlek gömlek. Ah aşk, ah aşk, aşk, aşk, aşk, aşk. Kısmet olur mu bilmem, bitmişimi görmem.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Mercandede for his wonderful performance. Thank you so much. I feel immense pleasure in introducing our next esteemed guest, Dr. Krishna Bhatt, an American urologist, author, and inventor. Dr. Bhatt specializes in robotic uro-oncologic surgeries, male reproductive medicines, urologic care, and calculi. He is affiliated with several medical facilities including Northern Light Eastern Mene Medical Center, St. Joseph Hospital, and North Light Sebastico-Quelli Hospital. Dr. Bhatt is currently working as a Chief of Urology at Eastern Mene Medical Center in Bangor, Mene. Dr. Bhatt is also an expert in the study of intermittent silence, meditation, and Gita, and he has created Relax, an application that serves as a portable guru for finding peace and happiness. He has authored several publications and patents along with his book, Journey from Life to Life, Achieving Higher Purpose, which aims at bringing the gap between the Western and Eastern philosophy by answering spiritual questions with a practical bent of mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Dr. Krishna Bhatt.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was listening to some of the music that preceded, and that was amazing music. That was really amazing. And I like the way Dr. Tomar said, we are waves in the ocean, and the waves think they're separate. So we are separate. We have a longer life, but we are just waves. And if I can share my slides there, this will be a quick presentation, but we will focus mainly on the meditation. We have this Relax app. We want this to become the world's destination for mindfulness, intermittent silence, meditation, and consciousness. And of course, this one is already, this is basically a peace and positivity. And I put peace and positivity together because many times peace goes with negativity, that you put your head down and be quiet for a few minutes. This peace I'm talking about is about positive peace with your head held high, shoulders out, and a positive kind of intonation to that. So life is an adventure. What we provide is a backpack with tools to build your inner strength. Life is also simple, and all meditations should be simple. Today we will be doing a meditation, humming meditation. And before that, just why do we need to do it? So one, we solve some problems. The world is full of problems: stress, anxiety, sleep, burnout. The other one is we fulfill your wishes. You want to grow, become something, and that will help. And then it also helps innovation, creativity, and the flow. We'll talk someday about how the flow comes from inside. And the core concept is we all have a body, we all have a mind, and we had a lot of talk today that related to mind. How do you think yourself differently? But the inner strength comes from our individual consciousness, the way we are talking about. We all have an individual consciousness. Patanjali calls it Chit, and Vigyan Bhairav Tantra has some techniques about your individual consciousness. And of course, you apply it in workplace or school, wherever you are. So all the meditation that we talk about do the meditation. When you do the meditation, don't think about your mind, don't work on your mind. You conserve energy by closing your eyes. You conserve energy by closing your mouth and not thinking about how to process your speech or how to express yourself. And number three, which is the most important one, is you have silent listening. And then the meditation creates energy. And of course, once you have the energy, how to channel it is important. So these are the three C's we talk about. And we talk about our core pillars in silence, wellness, inner universe, music, and meditation. Intermittent silence, of course, we spend 5 to 10 minutes with yourself every day. That's the mantra here. And that's the concept, very much like intermittent fasting, but it is powerful, and you get to know your inner universe. And basically, silent listening is the most powerful thing on earth. And the person who actually pioneered silent listening is Guru Nanak, who says a lot of verses about silence. Suniye lage sahaju dhyano. I mean, that's beautiful. Just if you just become a listener, one is listening well to others. The other is silent listening. Just lie down and listen. Suniye dharati dhawal akash. That's one of his lines. That's just let everything be around you. You're not judging the sound. You just listen, and the whole universe is talking to you. The whole consciousness is talking to you. Silent watching of thoughts. Everybody has talked. I sometimes say, just let your thoughts coexist with you. Focus on the technique of the meditation, the music or the sound or the heart, and just let the mind do what it's doing. Sometimes it will hijack you, but that's okay. Come back when you realize you can't do anything wrong in this process. And this is applicable to any meditation you do. So the backpack that we provide with tools inside, and nothing can be successful without partnering. And I'm so glad that Vibhuti Jha and Dr. Tomar gave me a chance to share something with you guys here today. None of us is as smart as all of us. And that is what United Consciousness efforts seems to be. So now we will proceed with the humming meditation, which is a powerful meditation. Humming, we all can hum, and sometimes we are all bathroom hummers. So start humming, and there is research that in the sinuses, when you hum, the nitric oxide level goes 15 times more, which is beneficial to the brain. So we will start the meditation now. Humming can produce healing vibrations. Sit down or lie down. Sit down with a straight back and neck, or lie down and start humming. There will be a period of silence after that, and then a wake-up music for you to come out of meditation.
Thank you very much, respected Krishna Bhattji. It is such a soothing and soul touching meditation that you guided us through. And I'm sure that all the audience from different parts of the world must be benefited by it. The music that you chose and the composition that you made is amazingly soul touching. It pacifies everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much, Krishna Bhattji.
Thank you, Vikrantji. On the app, there is half an hour of this, so that definitely has a little more effect, and
Yes,
there is some ending part, that. But really, thanks for sharing, letting us share the meditation.
Thank you very much. Stay connected. Thank you very much, Krishna Bhattji. Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Dr. Krishna Bhatt for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
Shirley Paz is an outstanding national artist inside and outside the country. He is a cellist, songwriter, singer, and producer. He has a Bachelor of Music with the specialty of cello concertante, graduated from the National Autonomous University of Honduras. He studied Bachelor of Music from Wheaton College, Chicago, in USA. He played the Masterworks Festival in New York, USA, in chamber music, cello, jazz singing, and conducting. He is a cellist of the National Symphony Orchestra of Honduras, co-founder and director of Crescendo Conservatorio de Música, founder of Compass Producciones, co-founder of Day Art Music Studio, and he has done international concerts as a singer and cellista in USA, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Kazakhstan. He is a producer and creator of several artistic and entertainment festivals, composer of music for cinema and theater, and an arranger and music producer, recording director in the musical styles classical, jazz, Latin rock, trova, folk, and ballads. As a composer and producer of more than 25 songs and emblematic musical pieces inside and outside the country with social, cultural, and purely artistical themes, the following themes stand out. Soy Mujer in 2016 was a campaign for women's rights. There was The Smell of Wood in 2017, and The Song for Peace in 2017, which was a campaign for peace. So I Love You Honduras in 2018 was an emblematic song for the nation. Who Will I Go To in 2019, and Song for Central America in 2020 for the current Central American project, and has made many albums, two of which are Footprints and Compilation.
Hi everybody, I'm Shirley Paz from Honduras. I'm a cellist and singer, and I'm a composer too. I'm so happy to be here with you in this Yoga International Day organized by the United Consciousness. It's so nice to be here after all of this stuff happening around the world. And I will share with you my music. Thank you for enjoying it. God bless you.
Bendiga Dios la pródiga tierra en que nací. No sé si en otro lugar la luna se ve así. De tu sabor yo me enamoré, de tu color a café. Tienes el encanto de una flor por descubrir, exótica belleza, un misterio por sentir. Estás marcada en mi corazón, mi fuente de inspiración. Bella es mi tierra, ella es la que estremece todo mi interior. Bella es mi tierra, por su pueblo y por su gente, Honduras es. Así te amo yo, así te añoro yo, como cuando la mañana espera el sol. Sos la más hermosa y orgulloso estoy de ti. Pintas la nostalgia en una tarde de abril. Tienes todo lo que yo amo aquí, un tesoro de país. Bella es mi tierra, ella es la que Esta es mi tierra, y es la más bella, tiene un encanto que te va a enamorar. La canción que provoca los latidos de mi corazón. Mi tierra, ella es la que estremece todo mi interior. Ay, ay, ay, ay, ay, ay, bella es mi tierra, por su pueblo y por su gente, Honduras es. Así te amo yo, así te añoro yo, como cuando la mañana espera el sol. Bella es mi tierra, ella es la que estremece todo mi interior. Bella es mi tierra, por su pueblo y por su gente, Honduras es. Así te amo yo, así te añoro yo. Así te amo yo, así te añoro yo. Así te amo yo, así te añoro yo, como cuando la mañana espera el sol. Bella, bella, bella es mi tierra, bella es mi tierra, bella es mi tierra, así te amo yo, bella es mi tierra.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Shirley Pass for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and presenting a very beautiful performance. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, Namaste. My name is Mail Srinivasan and I am part of Project Self Incorporation. On behalf of United Consciousness Conclave and Project Self USA, I would like to take next few minutes to thank the speakers, contributors and participants for attending this program today and the wonderful support you provided for this memorable event. We hope the experience was enjoyable for you, but there are a lot of takeaways from today's program, right? We started the program with a wonderful music from Play for Music team participating from all over the world. It was a very soothing music. Acharya Vivek ji on spirituality and interpersonal relationship, he mentioned how happiness and sadness are related to relationship. He mentioned that we need compassion and he referenced Bhaja Govindam, which means consciousness. How we need to collaborate, concentrate, contemplate, and communicate to achieve balance was the main message from him. We had Swami Tattvamayananda ji on spirituality and art of acceptance. He said humanity is one according to Vasudeva Kudumbam. Success is realized when we are able to realize the fruits of success. Spirituality is the art of acceptance, is his message. Thank you, Swamiji. Next, we had Pandit Mishraji, where he told us about yoga and the purpose of life if serving others and how we can enjoy the outcome of success. He emphasized that how asanas will help you to understand the self and lead healthier life. Followed by that, we had Sabita ji on spirituality and self-control. She emphasized that being aware that I am more than a material is the consciousness. Life exists within the spirit, and spirituality is the attitude that brings us closer. Waiting for approval for others is not, and applying self-control is the essence. What a beautiful message. Thank you, Savita ji. And we had a wonderful panel discussions by our distinguished masters on spirituality and united consciousness. Alucio Montero, he said that you identify yourself with consciousness. He mentioned about happiness and the role we play. Every second we are breathing is universe. Wonderful. This is for the great message that we can carry forward in our life. Dr. Yogi ji, he talked about Nath concept and trying to realize oneself. He said, leave the desires and focus on soul. Donate and appreciate differences. That was his main message. And Farina, what she said, once we realize oneness, the difference between male and female goes away. Gratitude connects us with a purpose. I'm sure these are all various life lessons that we can practice as much as we can to improve our lives. Subsequently, we had Sufi music by Baba Ashram team, which was really very, very amazing. Followed by that, Krishna Bhattaji taught us about meditation using humming music. What a wonderful performance it was. And lastly, we had Shilapas did a great singing for us. Thank you everyone for this great opportunity. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Vikrantji and the UCC crew for making this event a flawless and successful one. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Namaste.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
This shloka means, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Firstly, I thank the God for blessing us all in this conclave to take our first step towards the noble mission. I thank European Yoga Federation, Swami Suryananda Saraswati Ji, Ms. Amy Blesio, Ms. Emilia, Sarah, Danielia, Christine, and also thank the Spiritual Council in Africa. I owe my heartfelt thanks to our wonderful speakers, Acharya Vivek Gupta Ji, Swami Tattvamayananda Ji, Ms. Sabita Gir for sparing their valuable time for this event. I am thankful to our esteemed panelists, Mr. Eliseo Monterio, Dr. Bholanath Yogi, Ms. Sara, Ms. Yerti Farhina. I also thank our yoga expert, Ms. Lizette Moreno, and meditation expert, Swami Suryananda Saraswati Ji. I also thank our yoga experts, Dr. Radhesham Mishra, and meditation expert, Dr. Krishna Bhatt. I am very grateful to our wonderful performers, Ms. Shirley Paz, Mr. Khalid and Ms. Merlene, and Sufi musical group from Baba Adnan Ashram. I owe my heartfelt thanks to Team Project Self USA, Shri Rajesh Rabindranath, Ms. Pavitra Srinivasan, Ms. Madhurika Arvind, Ms. Rashmi Kashi, Dr. Prasad Akavu, Dr. Vijay Reddy, Ms. Gina Suresh, Mr. Karthik Palamalai, Mr. K.L. Alexander, Mr. Venkat Sriram Lalu, Ms. Deepthi Nair, Ms. Avneet Bad, Mr. Suresh, Mr. Devaraju, Ms. Deepa Arun. I thank Team Project Self Bharat, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, Dr. Shweta Tomar, Aditi Meghna Mohsen Prachi, Mr. J.S. Juneja, Dr. Paramji Juneja, Rishi Vishalji Arnav, Aditya Ashwin, Rati Dharmendra Ji Uday, Pooja Ji, Bharti Ji, Dipti Ji, Amrish Ji, Mrinalini Ji, Khushbu Ji, Jimmy Ji. Mr. Sanjay Rajput, Ms. Simran Reel. I also thank two new members of Project Self India, Ms. Maria Lightwala and Ms. Simran Raghavani. I am very much thankful to our wonderful audience and all the visible and invisible sources blessing us.